Keep going, Fuso, you can do it!
Enemy severely damaged. Target penetrated.
Enemy battleship destroyed.
Yep. Welcome to World of Warships, guys. I'm Highfly15, and let's get this episode started. Now, what you just saw was a salvo from the Tier 7 premium destroyer, the Sims. But today, we're going to take it one notch down and go to Tier 6 and go to the Farragut. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that one correctly. It is a very special name, and it's in, well, it's in American, so, but there's many many ships that I don't know how to pronounce correctly. But we're taking it down a notch into Tier 6 as I have a pretty good round with the Farragut and Farragut, yeah. Tell me in the comments, because Google Translate didn't really help me much there. Let's see, am I close to this one? Not really. 12,000. That's easy. That's actually easy to get. But the thing about destroyers is that they have very good concealment, as we can see here. Surface detectability range is 7.6 kilometers, and detectability range is 3.4. So if you can just hold down Alt and see the distance on ships, then you know exactly if you're spotted or not. Of course, you can go in and pick the situational awareness that I have, because I would really like to know when I'm spotted and I'm not, because then it might be because a destroyer is hidden somewhere, maybe in a cloud, and he can see me, and I really like to know when I'm spotted at all times, in destroyers at least, so I know when I can be sneaky and such. Yeah, that's the main thing about destroyers. You have torpedoes and you have very good concealment, and of course the maneuverability is really good as well. So we can see the speed is really good, 37 knots, and a turning circle of 560 meters, also really good. Shutter shift speed, 3.5, it's also really good. If we take a look at, for instance, the Cleveland of the same class, not the same class, but of the same tier, you can see that it's 9.4 here, and the turning circle is 300 meters bigger or wider, 40 meters less than 300 maybe. But yeah, that is the main thing about the destroyers. You want to be sneaky, and as you saw in the opening clip, I got a almost full HP Fuso with a full side of torpedoes, because he came around the corner and I had already launched my torpedoes way before he was able to see them and therefore react to them, which is what you want to aim for when you're using destroyers, especially the Americans, because as we can see here, maybe we can see them here. Yep, we can see them here. The torpedo range, I'm going to go in on a module so I can actually show you better. Here, the torpedo range is 4.5 kilometers, and that's super small. That's very little. It's quite insane actually. But the knots are 65, so that's really good, and the damage is 16.6 thousand damage. So that's really good. Let's go to for instance the let's see here, the I do have it. That's Tier 6 Japanese one. So it's the torpedoes here. They also do 16, but they have 10 kilometers range and 59 knots. And those few knots actually come into play when you want to surprise someone. When your torpedoes are going much faster, even if it's only 6 knots, that's still less time they have to react. So it's really good. And you want to do those surprise attacks. You're going to see that in the video I'm going to show you with the Farragut. And yeah, let's just go into it, and I'll explain other stuff about the destroyers as we get there. So let's get right into the battle with the Farragut. So here we are on the map New Dawn, and I really like this map. There's plenty of islands to swim around, and yeah, it's just really good. I really like it. It's really balanced. There's a lot of islands around the B and decent amount of islands around A, and I never go C. Like, literally, never. I don't see any point going there, either in battleships, cruisers, or destroyers. And in destroyers, I always head down to A, east, and in cruisers, I always head in towards B, mainly towards G6, and hang around those islands, and use them as cover as I shoot at people coming in from the 8, 9, 10 line. And yeah, but here we are in the destroyer, the Farragut, trying new things. And as we can see here, I am detecting people from afar, and they're not detecting me. So I can fire, but I don't know the firing range on each different ship that I have. So just getting the lead in with the first few shells from afar, I have already been spotted by their destroyer because I have been firing, and their destroyer haven't been firing. So I haven't seen their destroyer, but he's clearly seen me as shots are coming in. Maybe the shots were coming over me, but I thought that it was on me. I didn't have the situational awareness back in this, I think. Or will it pop up now? We'll see. Didn't know the distance again on my guns, but I adjust right immediately after. And you can see already there, this guy has already thrown his torpedoes. He's never in a million years gonna hit me, but he threw them anyways, because he is a Japanese destroyer, and Japanese destroyers can't do this. I just kept on firing, and just stayed there and shot at him. Japanese destroyers do not have the guns to be able to go straight up against American destroyers. So if you ever find yourself in an American destroyer coming up against a Japanese destroyer, just switch to AP and start shelling the hell out of them, because you're gonna win no matter what. Like, unless you run into the torpedoes, then you're not, but you shouldn't. In a destroyer, you shouldn't get hit by torpedoes, ever. Ever, ever, ever. And speaking of getting hit by torpedoes, in the last game I played in my destroyer, I think it was Minikase, I went straight into a torpedo. So that was so annoying. Like, I was going straight for it, and then I turned, and then forgot about the torpedo and turned back into it. Like, what am I doing with my life here? Again, just taking some different leading shots here on the cruisers. You have great guns on the American destroyers, so just keep on firing, because as you can see, the reload speed is insane. Gonna come up against a battleship. This one, maybe not. Maybe you shouldn't keep firing at these guys. You will do a little bit of damage, and you will see me do a little bit of damage, but it's not gonna be a lot. You want to switch to HE as you come up against these guys, just to set them on fire and destroy modules. I just took out a gun there, but that was more luck than skill. As you can see, I do not get over 1,000 damage, even though I'm hitting all of my shots almost every single time. Bam, bam, bam. 4 shots hit, no damage done almost. But it's still damage. It's ticking away on that life total. I'm gonna switch over to, it looks like the Cleveland. And because they are leaving A already, because we had quite a lot of people just trying to see here if I can shoot over these mountains. Sometimes the arc is good enough to do that, but this time it looked like I thought wrong. But we're gonna wait here or until our front guns are in place, and then we're just gonna start shelling again. Again, I have not switched over to HE, but like, sometimes you just want to experiment and try and see how much damage you can get out of just firing pure AP. And then in the future, you will know to switch over to HE when you saw that this little experiment didn't go as well. 1,000 damage finally for penetrating the, I think it was the deck, but as we can see here, it's not going too well. I've stopped my ship. As you can see, there's no speed on it right now, and I just stopped it right here. Good size, or good distance out of his view range for me, so he's not able to spot me, I say, and get a fistful of shells. No, that is the other destroyers that are just a little bit too close. So we can see he is 8.7 kilometers away, and these guys are 2.1 1 kilometers away from me, so that means that they're 6 kilometers from him. So he was able to spot them, as I don't think there's any destroyers that have less than 6 kilometers range, detectability. I don't think so. Someone can correct me if they want, but I don't think so. Just gonna lay down some fire all over the place up there, just in hope to hit something, especially the destroyer. I really want to take him out because he's been annoying, and you don't want to leave a destroyer hanging around. If you are able to take him out, take him out. Especially if you're a destroyer yourself, and an American destroyer to boot, because they, as said, are excellent Japanese destroyers. Yeah. It sounded weird, but they are great at destroying Japanese destroyers, so they are Japanese destroyers. I'm so funny, I crack myself up. But so far, I have not had the opportunity to launch any of my torpedoes. Torpedoes, exactly. Because everything has been too far away. But as we can see, alright, this guy is 6.3 kilometers away now. So me firing here, he's definitely going to see me. I'm going to take out another gun of his. Maybe it was the same. 89 damage. Very nice, Christian. Very nice. He's turning very slowly, so I'm keeping my lead on him a little, but not too much. As you can see here, he's firing over me, so I don't know if he can see me. I think he's outside. Yep, he is further away than he can spot right now, so he will not be able to see me, but I am able to just keep on shooting at him. If he thinks that he's taken too much damage and he uses repair kit, these small pokes from an American destroyer is going to completely nullify the repair kit that he has. Look at that. They're all just hanging out over there. Like, I've seen this sometimes. Like, people, they were on the offensive, but then they met a bigger force and they could not handle it, so they just ran away and decided to take the battle on from a distance instead. That is a good plan. It is. But you shouldn't run this far away already. Like, we played 8 minutes now, and they're already like that far away. Like, they can't get in to us without getting shot at, being in the open. And I finally take out that destroyer with some well-aimed leading shots there. And we have a Cheaton who was in a, looks like, no, he was in a cruiser, and he says that he was left to deal with half the enemy team, but more than half the enemy team is up north, and he went alone to the west. If you can see your team, this is a slow game, so if you see yourself going alone in a direction, turn around immediately. You are going to be alone in that side of the map. Don't go alone. It's the most important thing that I would like to teach to people. Do not go alone. This is a team game. You cannot deal with the enemy alone. Unless you're an epic kind of guy who can hit everything in the Citadel from a million miles away. See if I can hit this guy. Looks like it's Congo class down there. Not sure. But my shells were sent flying. None of them hit, it seems. One of them hit after a million years. And here we have, this one looks like an American cruiser though. But I can still take him on if I can find the correct lead. My guns are able to turn just as fast as my boat. There we go, right there. Critical damage some of his guns. Now when boats are turning, it is like, if you aim right at where they are, but just lower, you will most likely hit where they turn. So they will turn into your shots. But it's a very tough shot. Yeah, I still have a tough time with that. This guy decided to throw his torpedoes like prematurely and didn't hit anything. Gonna see another. That one doesn't look like Cleveland. I can't really tell just by the silhouettes yet. because I haven't played it that much,
Our
and
victory
the
is in
silhouettes
sight.
are not very distinct, in my opinion. They are not. It's just like shapes. Like, it doesn't look like a tank. Like, in World of Tanks, you can clearly see what tank it is. Got another American boat coming in. Gonna put some hurt on him, hopefully. And I'm gonna take some huge damage from the cruiser on the other side of the island. Gonna hit this guy for a good amount of damage. He turns a little bit, and I aim just a little bit lower and hit him in the back. I'm gonna try and hit him in the middle for those Citadel hits. He disappears, and he also fired his torpedoes prematurely because I haven't changed direction almost. So I don't know what he was trying to hit there. But that guy just keeps on disappearing in the cloud of smoke. But he appears again. It's too far away. My shells now start having an arc on them. As you saw, when we were close fighting, the shells didn't have much of an arc because it was just almost direct fire. So I don't know exactly when the distance starts going in an arc. You could probably test that and figure out when.
The enemy team has taken the lead.
When it starts arcing, so you know when not to even bother shooting. This guy is, you can see here, not much of an arc, but it did fly over with the front guns. This guy turns and shoots. I shoot once in one direction just to fool him a little bit, but that doesn't fool him that much, but I still get a good shot on him. And then I get these shots once again. No arc whatsoever on such a close target. So didn't go over that at all. Nitrix in his, I can't remember what he took in this one actually. It is an American cruiser, I believe. Or oh yeah, I fired at the Cleveland and I hit him in the Citadel with that one shell. Or a couple of shells I decided to throw in that direction. But we're coming to the end of the battle, and this is where the only opportunity shows itself, where I can use the sneaky trick of using the torpedoes. So I'm going to activate the torpedoes by pressing 3. It's going to bring up the circle on the minimap where you can see the distance, and you can see the lead. You can see the Congo is going to go this way. I can clearly see that. The lead is coming up here. So I'm going to fire the torpedoes as I'm expecting him to keep on turning. And the lead is right on the money, as we can see. It's going to go beautifully right into his side and destroy him completely in one salvo, as all torpedoes are aimed at almost the same spot. And he has no idea before now. Now he sees the torpedoes. And he's dead. And yeah, that's literally... like, it's just suddenly it's a wall of death coming in your face. And these are the scores for this battle. I got over 200,000 credits and 3,417 XP. Of course, it's not base, but we'll see that in just a second what that was. We got 670 free XP on that one. That's really good, actually. It's a good amount of free XP to get. Got a lot of shots hit. Targets hit with the torpedoes. 5 of them completely destroyed the Congo here in the end. Got 2 kills. Flooding Citadel hit 1 on the Cleveland, as we didn't even see how much damage it did, but I guess it did some. 2,278 base XP on that one. Oh yeah, he was in the Omaha. Nitrix was in the Omaha. And overall damage, we got, well, just around 47,600 damage with the shells, and just about the same with the torpedoes as we took out the Congo down the end. Yeah, that is basically it for this episode. I am going to make a smaller and more compact how to use torpedoes, how to use cruisers, how to use AP over HE, more compressed ones, but I thought that I just want to show off this game as it had a really good ending. I was kind of disappointed overall with the game, but in the end I was like, that's good. I want to show that because it's a really good lead, and it shows just how you need to be sneaky with ships going around corners, and it also shows that you need to be very careful when you go around corners. Don't ever just cut around a corner when you know that there's a destroyer somewhere close. That's it, guys. I'm Half-Life 15. I'll see you on the high seas. Haha.